I think that's a plan.
He should not be relying on other property owners to secure his
I
property.
think that's a plan. And I would also suggest that maybe get a security person in for certain hours.
I honestly don't think that's viable. And if you listen to what you're hearing about 100 people coming there from a gang, would you really want to put a security person in that position? I mean, you have to have an artillery force with it.
What about cameras?
Cameras?
We have a police force that'll back up the business.
There's no electricity in that building. There's no light in that building. And there's no electricity. I mean, it's a power plant.
It sounds like we can't do anything.
No, that's not.
Which I don't know, we don't want to do anything.
Really, to me, it sounds like our hands are tied and that we're just gonna wait for someone to die.
I think
Until we get it developed.
Reverend, that's not
What I
true.
would have liked to have heard was something like, I am going to erect fence with this kind of steel, blah, 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 blah. Yes, 2 in the tent, whatever, but something to show good faith, shows that, because I went to the property. What you're saying to me right now, it just does not ring true. My daughter could get in the building right now.
What about an alarm with central office book,
I think I started my conversation by saying that we had a plan and that we were implementing that plan.
Tell us what it is. What it is.
Honestly, I don't think you want to fully discuss security issues on a building because then it becomes a plan of how to defeat them.
Okay, that's a viable point. Are you discussing this with our police department?
Absolutely.
I met Mr. Capolino last Friday afternoon and we toured the building, and I showed him very easy access points. On the north side of the building, there's a bulkhead there. It's filled with water, and it doesn't look like there's easy access over there. On the east side of the building that runs along the railroad tracks, I pointed out wrought iron gate, very large wrought iron gate that cars have been bent where access could be gained. I pointed out to him and I recommended or suggested that he had to fence that up. Also on the same side as the railroad tracks, on the corner with the south side, there was a metal stairway about 10 steps high that led to an elevated rail platform. I guess at one time there was a spur on there where they delivered or dropped off pole ash. If you went up that stairway, you could easily get access to that second level, which was wide open. And I recommended that he remove that. On the south side is where most of the easy entrance was gained. There was large openings in the basement of the building where you could drive a Volkswagen through. There was a fence that he said was his, correct me if I'm wrong?
Correct.
That extended, and I told him it should extend into the Hudson River past low tide. So, I mean, obviously, people can climb over fences. Right. But I recommended that the fence be replaced, and the very large openings where you could drive a car through, would they be, either plywood or secure. Because right now, at that point, it was very, very simple to get in. And obviously, he told me he was going to work on that, and it's going to take a little time. What we did in the police department is we have around-the-clock directed patrol. That doesn't mean we have a police officer there at all times, but we have police officers visited 2 or 3 times a tour around the clock. And I would think with all the notoriety that was on the local cable TV, that the people in Glenwood, if they saw large groups of people walking towards the station, we would hope that they would call the police. That's what we've done so far.
There was a young man back here who said
when you mentioned that there's no roads, isn't there like a dirt road right next to the railroad tracks that you can just go right through the marina and cut through, and you drive literally right by it? I mean...
But somebody could go on it. I think it's chained. It's chained. Yeah.
I have no problem. I don't know the officers themselves actually go into the facility when they make an investigation, when they actually come out of the
Each case would depend on, if we see the kids coming out, we know saw the trespasser, we arrest them. In that case, I prefer that the officers not go in there, they don't have to. In my orders, I said, look, if you have to go in the building, do so, but if you don't have to, don't, because it's extremely dangerous, especially at night. We don't want officers or attorneys. Obviously, if they hear somebody in there with an indication that there's somebody in there, they're going to claim it.
Do they need a warrant or anything, or does this fall under like the Safe Streets, Safe Walls program?
Mr. Capolino sent the fourth police in a letter authorizing us to go in there. Big trespass.
It's like a trespass program.
That's good, and thank you for that.